Descending upon a remote town in Norway, surrounded by mountains, glaciers, and the deep wilderness of the north, are the strongest weightlifters in the world. With the old world records and weight categories locked away in the archives of the sport, the fiercest competitors from around the world will be looking to stake their country's flag in the currently unconquered record books of a new era.
He's done it. He's done it. Just set a senior world record. Unbelievable.
Says not so fast, Karlos. I'm still here. 182 world record.
In this new landscape of weightlifting, several of the new weight categories have absorbed more talent than one podium can bear, with world record holders, world champions and Olympic champions across multiple categories funneled into the same fresh weight classes.
Oh my goodness.
6 for 6, Olivia Reeves.
Cannot believe. And Ruslan has set a new world record in the clean and jerk.
242 kilograms.
It's an unbelievable moment in the weightlifting world.
The men's 79 kilo class is the most competitive middleweight category in years. The deep rivalry between the two Indonesians, Rahmat and Abdullah, and Rizki is reignited for the first time since the fateful end to the last Olympic cycle.
Oh my goodness,
Lord.
He's gonna make it.
He's got to hold it. He's got
right into the jerk.
He can't make it.
It's forward.
He's
it's
missed
forward.
it.
Oh
Rizki
my Lord.
might just have booked himself a ticket to Paris this summer.
Fueled also by North Korea's toughest male weightlifter and reigning world champion, Ri Chong-song.
It's a good clean.
He's up
for the gold.
That looks to be it. That is a great jerk.
Oh, he's done it.
What a phenomenal fight.
Oh, soak it up, Ri Chong-song.
As well as Egypt's new unknown sensation, Mohammed Abdul Rahman. And many more absolute beasts. The rise of America's most talented weightlifter of the century, Olivia Reeves, will be tested as she moves up in weight to compete with Egypt's two-time world champion, Sara Ahmed.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Tough recovery though.
It's good.
There.
Look at those wrists flicked back overhead.
And her teammate Mattie, who holds more World Championships medals than any other weightlifter in USA women's history. Olivia is now unbeaten since the start of 2024, and with a sweep of world records in the new 69 kilo weight class 2 months ago at the Pan American Championships, Olivia looks to mop up 3 more world records and her second world title.
Just
there we
smashes
go.
it. I mean, that could have been an opening lift.
If successful, she'll be the only weightlifter in history to hold 6 current world records.
Oh my goodness.
6 for 6, Olivia Reeves.
Cannot believe.
Assuming her 69 kilo records are still standing at the time. The best weightlifter in the world, Karlos returns during one of the most sensational streaks in weightlifting history. Motivated by his love for his country, Bulgaria, Karlos has set world records in 3 weight classes and is now unbeaten for 5 straight competitions.
There it is.
Oh, can he get up with it? Yes, he can. Is that any weight that this man cannot lift?
In Norway, he will continue on his journey towards his ultimate goal, to become the greatest of all time. Right now he's on track, but the path to the all-time greatest won't be easy. Two returning Olympic champions, Meso from Qatar and Kianoush, formerly of Iran, now competing for Kosovo, will challenge the now heavier Karlos for the victory.
Can he hold on to it? He's got to stop it moving.
What a smart move. What a brilliant lift.
3 Olympic champions, 3 previous weight categories, all converging for one immaculate showdown. The strongest women in weightlifting will resume their multi-year battle to reorder themselves into the true strongest women on earth. With Li Wenwen and Li Yan, two previous world record holders, absent from this competition, China have thrown in newcomer Zhu Linhan to try and maintain their stronghold over the category. But with South Korea's dominant duo pushing one another to greater and greater heights, Sun Young-hee and Park Hye-jeong, two previous world champions, will taste blood in the waters as China opts for newness over experience.
Oh, she's got to fight with it.
Yeah, that's not easy. Wow.
Very nice.
Through white lights, she's getting stronger and stronger.
Great Britain's weightlifting sensation and the two-time Olympic medalist Emily Campbell returns from injury with her focus planted firmly back on the podium. The five-time European champion is truly scared of no one. Pan America also looks to make some waves with Cuba's junior sensation Marie-Felix Sarria and Team USA's now veteran Mary Tyson Lappin joining the fray.
What's this? Oh, wow,
Yeah.
very nice. You know, she probably
Easy.
does a better job than anyone we've seen in this session getting that bar to just bend and conform to her will at the bottom of the jerk.
Yeah.
And finally, the 110 kilo heavyweight men are back in a big way. After a multi-year drought where the heavyweights split into the lighter 102 kilo class and the super heavyweight class, the top talent has finally returned once more.
What is 183? It's a 3 kilo personal best.
Uzbekistan's two Olympic champions, Akbar and Ruslan Nuruddinov, look to be in their best shape for years.
And Ruslan has set a new world record in the clean and jerk.
242 kilograms.
Armenia's Simon Martirosyan claims that records will fall, and many more 110 kilo monsters look poised for enormous totals.
Oh, look at what he's got it.
The return of the once historic 110 kilo heavyweight category is back. This is the 2025 World Weightlifting Championships from Ford, Norway, available to watch at Weightlifting House TV. Tickets are selling fast. You can get yours now at the link down below. Okay, so I'm Seb Ostrovich. I'm a professional commentator, owner of Weightlifting House, author of The Greatest Weightlifters of All Time, and with such an historic World Championships coming to us this year, I've been asked to talk a little bit about some of the most exciting battles that are coming to us in Norway this October. Okay, this 79 kilo class is, it's basically looking to be the most competitive we've seen. Well, it's a new category, of course, but this middleweight category, the most competitive we've seen in years. We've got the returning Olympic champion, Rizki. We've got the guy who was leading the pack in the 73s last year, set multiple world records, Rahmat and Abdullah. We've got the newcomer, Abdo from Egypt, who just looks absolutely sensational. And then of course we've got Ri Chong-song from North Korea, who is just so strong, one of the only people ever to beat Rahmat and Abdullah, another world champion himself. Kaden Kahoy from the USA, who's already attempted a world record in this class. I mean, this category is stacked and there are so many other weightlifters to be excited for here. Okay, so I probably don't need to go into too much detail on the Rahmat Rizki saga. Most of you will remember it. Of course, at the end of the last Olympic quad, they had the most historic battle. It was the greatest comeback, arguably in weightlifting history, when Rizki made that 201 kilo clean and jerk. Rahmat missed the 206 two times. Rizki then went on to win the Olympic Games. Since then, they've not actually competed against one another. Both turned up to the World Championships, but they weren't necessarily in the best shape. Rahmat, we've spoken to, he has described himself to us now as unchained. It's just a new mentality shift that he has. So the Indonesian now is basically looking at this as like, in the past quad, yes, I set multiple records, I became world champion twice, but I held myself back slightly. Now I'm unchained, I'm just going all out for it, and he's really gonna have to with the athletes that he's competing against. Rizki also looks great. I mean, he just competed at a national competition, he snatched 162, he clean and jerked 205, which I think is a bit of a statement because it equals what Rahmat hit as a 73 when Rahmat set that world record at the Asian Championships a few months ago. Already those two lifts are way now, as a clean and jerk in total, way above the world record, the new standards that they're going to have to hit. So those two, they should basically be in the best shape we've ever seen them in. Then you've got Ri Chong-song. You know, this North Korean guy who's just been, well, he's attempted multiple world records at 210. He's not quite yet hit it. That was as an 81, but weighing relatively light. So he is basically as strong as they get. He's like a guaranteed mid 160 snatcher, high 200s, you know, pushing that 210 mark in the clean and jerk. With the competition, with the competitiveness of this session, I think we can easily see him, you know, surpass all of the world records, just like with Rahmat and with Rizki. And then we're in the exact same session with the newcomer, with Abdo from Egypt, who some of you may know, some of you may not. We've not really seen him compete as a senior yet, but the numbers that he is putting up at the moment, he hasn't released all of them on social media, but we've seen them. He sent them over to us. He's power snatched 160, he snatched 170, he doubled 165. He power cleaned 190. That's what Shizuong famously power cleaned, the two-time Olympic champion. If it wasn't for the fact that we haven't seen him compete before, if we saw Rizki, Rahmat or Ri Chong-song hitting any of these numbers, we would basically say it's completely game over. He's going to destroy everybody. But because it's this new guy from Egypt, I don't necessarily have the confidence to say it, because we don't know how he's going to handle the pressure of the competition. I think he's going to be an insane addition to this 79 kilo class. Then of course guys like Caden Kahoy, who've attempted world records. I mean, that kind of brings us up to where we are now, but this session will be completely ridiculous. The new standard for this class is 165. So basically how many people can go over 160. I think on a great day, Rahmat, but unlikely. Rizki can do it. I mean, he snatched 164 as a 73, so he's 6 kilos up in body weight, so he can surely do it. Ri Chong-song, he's been snatching 165, 166 for a few years. He did the 165 double, so surely. So there's at least 3. How many people can go over 200 in the clean and jerk? I mean, all of those guys, Rahmat, Rizki, Ri Chong-song, Abdo Rahman, Caden Kahoy, but then you've also got lifters like Julia Mayura from Venezuela, among others. So I think there are probably 6 or 7 athletes capable of it. I think the really exciting thing is who's going to put the yellows on, who's going to get to 205. Again, the world record, the world standard at the moment is 202, so 203 is a world record. There's like 4 or 5 of them who can do it, maybe more. So that's just going to be insane. Can you predict the podium? I honestly can't. I mean, I feel like I can predict the top 4, you know, Rizki, Rahmat, the 2 Indonesians, Ri Chong-song and Abdo. I could give you almost any combination of those 3. I would be happy to agree that it could happen. Based on the numbers that we're seeing, Abdo's going to win, but I just hate to put a newcomer like that on a pedestal above everybody else. Rahmat is, you know, he's hit the biggest clean and jerks. Ri Chong-song just hates to lose. Rizki's the Olympic champion. I really don't know. I mean, this is honestly, this is my session of the World Championships. I can't wait to commentate it, but this is my like must-see session. So you're going to need to tune in for this one. Okay, so Olivia Reeves, obviously she just had the most sensational year of her life. She won the World Cup, she won the Olympic Games, became world champion, and then she went to the Pan American Championships recently, cut down to the new 69 kilo class and set all new world records, 119 snatch, 149 clean and jerk. When I was out in the USA with her in February, some of you will have already seen that documentary, she and her coach Steve were talking about what numbers they think she's capable of. They said that she would come up to the 77 kilo class for the World Championships, which she has done. And they were talking about things like 125, 160. Whether or not she's going to be capable of those here, I don't know. But we've already seen her, she snatched 123, she clean and jerked 155. These were in the USA. I mean, those are unofficial world records already. Now she's going to be going up against a few other top lifters that we'll get into, but what's she capable of? She's definitely capable of 125. She's definitely capable of something in the high 50s. If she hits 160, I'll be surprised because I'm not sure she's going to be pushed there, but she's probably capable of it right now. Oh yeah, it's definitely worth mentioning this, that if she sets 3 more world records, snatch, clean, jerk total, and her ones from the 69s haven't been defeated yet, which is, it's possible they will be because Songkuk Yang from North Korea competes at 69. But if Songkuk Yang doesn't hit them, and then Olivia hits those 3, she will own 6 current world records. I believe she'll be the first weightlifter of all time in any era, man or woman, to ever hold 6 current records. It's potential that it will be, you know, complete history for this session. Who can beat her? Probably no one. Sara Ahmed, you know, multiple time world champion from Egypt. She's going to be there. Her bests are 117, 151. So if she has the best day of her life and Olivia has a poorer day, then it's possible, but it's pretty slim. Are there any other big battles here? Yes, definitely. I mean, you've got Mattie Rogers from the USA. You've got Iglo Sturladottir from Iceland. You know, Mattie's more experienced, she's got slightly bigger numbers, but the consistency of Iglo, plus she's moving up a weight class, I think that's going to be a particularly fun battle. Something in the teens in the snatch. You know, if either of them gets close to the 115 mark, that should do it in the snatch. Clean and jerk, high 30s, maybe into the 40s. So yeah, there's some strong battles here as well. And then why did Olivia move up from the 69 class? I mean, I've seen some people say it's because of Song Kian being there and it's going to be an easier gold medal for her at 77. I don't think that's true. I mean, she was saying in February that she was going to move up to 77 after the 69 appearance at the Pan American Championships. She didn't know at that point what Song Kian was going to do. She's already defeated Song Kian. Song has beaten her once, she's beaten her once. So they're sort of 1-1. She didn't know what weight class Song Kian was going to go to, but she said 77 because the idea of gaining weight and therefore becoming stronger is just a lot more exciting, it's more thrilling to her. It's more motivating than cutting down by a couple of kilos. And it's probably, we don't know yet, but we assume that 77 will be the Olympic category, 69 probably not, but we're still waiting on that news. What can we expect from Karlos Nassar? Okay, Karlos Nassar, he's obviously the greatest weightlifter in the world at the moment, the most famous weightlifter in the world. He's coming off an absolutely historic year. 2024 became the first Bulgarian to win Europeans, Olympics and World Championships all in 1 year, and he won the World Cup. And then obviously most recently he moved up to it was the 96 kilo category, it's now 94. Yeah, he snatched 188, which was a world record, which was one of the most shocking world records of his career so far. And then 229 kilos in the clean and jerk, his total 417, that was also a world record, moving above of Sara Maradi. He's now had another, 5-6 months since then, he's been training hard. What's he capable of here? He's going to destroy the world records because the new ones are 181, 221. I mean, those are numbers that he was surpassing as an 89, he's now 94. I mean, I almost feel ridiculous saying these numbers, but you've got to believe that 190 in the snatch is possible, which is insane. I mean, how many 110s are you going to beat there? But 190 in the snatch is definitely doable. 230 is clearly doable as well. His 229 was easy. My assumption is that he's going to set world records on his second attempts. So he'll do like 182 on his second attempt, maybe more. He might even open at those sorts of weights. 222, clearly a second attempt type lift. That's never going to be a third. And then it all comes down to what he jumps for. He might push to 190 if he's feeling great. And then 230, I think he's got to do 230. That feels like more of a lift that he's going to be proud of if he hits that in competition. Yeah, so of course we've got Karlos Nassar, but we've also got Meso who won the Olympic Games in 2021. And then we have Kianoush, who won the Olympics in 2016. So the way that's happened is, you know, Meso had gone up to the 102s. He's now dropped down because he doesn't want to go up to 110. It's just too big a category for him. Those guys are too large. Kianoush has finally returned to competition, now competing for Kosovo. I'll explain why soon. And Karlos has come up from 89. So you've got these 3 Olympic champions who've never really, for an extended period of time, competed against each other. And they've come together, and it's going to be, you know, it's kind of like a treat for weightlifting fans. It'll be huge. And we've got multiple world champions there as well, because we've also got like Karim from Egypt. So yeah, it gets very exciting here. Okay, remind us about the Kianoush law. Okay, so a lot of you who are newer to the sport might not know a huge amount about Kianoush, but he is one of the most beloved weightlifters of all time. He's arguably sort of on the Mount Rushmore of 21st century weightlifting, kind of just because of his vibes, his personality, as well as obviously, you know, an incredible ability to lift big weights in the right moment. Let's go through a little bit of what makes Kianoush. So Kianoush became world champion in 2011, Olympic champion in 2016. He set one world record in his career, 220 kilos as an 85 kilo weightlifter. And then the Kianoush iceberg gets kind of weird. So he sells his Olympic gold medals for charity. He fights with the Iranian Federation. He returns to the World Championships in 2019 after a few years off competition, and he basically fights with the jury, yelling at them from the competition platform. He then flies to Switzerland alone. Some people say that he trekked single-handedly across the Swiss Alps, and he tried to qualify for the Olympic Games, but he was disallowed there. He then gave an interview with me at Weightlifting House about how the Iranian Federation is trying to prevent him from competing. He then starts on this sort of mountaineering arc where he keeps posting videos where he's walking and hunting and making fires. He sporadically competes for a few years, attempting multiple world records, but he never really gets very close. He He grows out a moustache even longer. People say that he looks like a young Stalin. He gets booted out by Team Iran. He then looks me in the eyes in 2022 and tells me that he snatched 180 kilos 2 minutes ago, even though I watched him only snatch 140 kilos. He then attempts to compete for Kosovo. We still don't know why he chooses Kosovo. He shows up to the World Championships in Bahrain. He doesn't talk to Team Iran. Team Iran refuses to release him, so he cannot compete for Kosovo. He hits or tries to hit the winning total for the session in the training hall, and then he disappears for basically a year, and now he's back and he is competing for Kosovo. That is the Kianoush law. Who else can medal? Yeah, there are some big names in this session who can definitely do it. There's Juan Guadamud from Cuba. Very excited to see how he does. More on him in another video. Karim from Egypt, he's also a world champion. Won Jongbyom, certainly in the clean and jerk from the South Korean, he can do it. Revas Davatadze, he's been looking strong. So there are a few athletes who can get close to medals, that's for sure. Tell us about China's dominance over the last decade. Yeah, so the Chinese sort of women's super heavyweight dynasty has been strong for, well, decades really. Back in the 90s, they were owning world records, and then into the 2000s, but the numbers started getting pretty crazy with athletes like Zhu Lulu, who was pushing up into the 190s in the clean and jerk. There was Meng Su Ping. Obviously, more recently, Li Wenwen, most of you will know. She's a 2-time Olympic champion. Last year, Li Yan turned up. We'd never heard of her. She set a new snatch world record. And now it's Yulin Han, who we don't know anything about, but if she's anything like her, her teammates who've competed in the past, she's going to be pretty dangerous. Yeah, so we've got these two super heavyweights from South Korea, Sun Young Hee and Park Hye-jeong. Whilst Sun Young Hee was winning senior world championships in 2021, Park Hye-jeong was winning junior world championships. So they were a few years apart in age and not competing at the same time until more recently. Eventually, Park has become probably the stronger of the two. She won the 2023 World Championships when Li Wenwen dislocated her elbow. And I think since then has probably beaten Sun Young Hee at every competition. She certainly beat her out for the Olympic spot and did well there. She took the medal, took the silver. But the battle between the two of them has been very strong. Sun Young Hee's got a bit of a problem with her press out. She's got some dodgy elbows, but they continue to push each other to higher and higher. The mid-20s up into the 30s in the snatch, high 60s in the clean and jerk into the 70s. So yeah, I think that battle will continue here. Is Emily Campbell in good shape? We don't know. I mean, she's a 5-time European champion. She's a 2-time Olympic medalist. I've seen her recently. I went up and filmed her in Nottingham training recently. She looked very good. She was snatching massive weight. She went to the European Championships. Then I think she had some surgery, but is back training. She's hitting pretty big lifts in squats and jerks off the blocks and that sort of thing. So I would have thought so. Who's the new Cuban? Mary Felix Sara. Yeah, so Mary Felix, some of you again won't know, from Cuba. She competed at the Pan American Championships a few months ago and she won. She beat Coach Mary Tyson Lappin from the USA, which was a surprise. Both of them lifted really well. I think Mary even clean and jerked at 161, I think. But Mary Felix hit 162 and it looked really good. I mean, there's just so much energy in the way that she lifts. So between those two, the two South Koreans, Emily and then Lu from China, we've got 6 athletes all capable of medals here. Okay, 110 kilo prompts. Give me your genuine feelings about this weight category. I mean, this weight category has just, it's going to blossom over this quad. It feels like we had all of this talent sucked out of this sort of weight class over the last 4 years because the Olympic categories were separated out into 102 and super. And now they're all returning and finally they're training at this body weight that they really need to be. They're not sort of being starved down or bulked up. And the number of athletes competing here at that highest level, that's sort of like 180 plus in the snatch, 190 plus maybe, and then over 230 in the clean and jerk, is remarkable. It's a sort of standard that we haven't seen for years in this weight class. Okay, so some of the big names, we've got Ruslan Nuruddinov, current world record holder, Olympic champion, world champion. Akbar, who is just looking sensational at the moment. We'll talk a little bit more about him in a bit. Simun Martirosyan, who was a world record holder, still is technically in the previous 109 class in the total. He spoke to us recently and told us that we're going to see records. In fairness, he didn't specify that they would be his records, but I assume that's what he meant, and we certainly will see records based on how Akbar and Ruslan are looking. His teammate, who then beat him, Garrett Karapetyan, the European champs, he's going to be in good shape. Kolbi Ferguson, I know a lot of you are very excited to see Kolbi. He hit that 230 in training recently. He said that he wants 230 in competition. We've got Dadash Bailey from Azerbaijan. This category is just, it's through the roof. This 110 kilo class used to be a weight category. How good was it? Yeah, so back in the 80s, really, the 110 kilo category existed, and there was huge respect for this heavyweight class. And some of the numbers were ridiculous. You had like Vyacheslav Klokov, who famously the father of Dmitry Klokov, even Leonid Taranenko, who held the heaviest clean and jerk of all time. He used to be a 110. You had Stefan Botev, who clean and jerk 250. Yuri Zakharevich, who did 250.5, even snatched 210. The heaviest person to snatch 100 kilos over body weight, actually, that's an interesting fact, is Yuri Zakharevich. He did that in 1988, I think it was. And then later on, obviously, in the 105s, you had guys like Ilya Ilyin hitting 246 kilos. But by 2019, well, actually 2019 was probably the last year this sort of weight range was great. We had the 3 back-to-back world records. 197, 198, 199, and then later 200 a few months later. And then the numbers started to drop. The weight categories changed. The Olympic classes became 102 and super heavyweight, so all those previous 109s had to separate out. We saw Simon Martirosyan, Akbar Jurayev, they went up to the super heavyweight class. You know, Liu Hanhua was down at 102. Akbar eventually realized he wasn't gonna be able to make it at super. He came all the way back down to 102. He cut like 27 kilos in body weight. It was just a nightmare for all of them. They didn't know what body weight they were supposed to be. It wasn't where their bodies wanted to be. Training was tough. And now finally, they've reinstated this sort of historic 110 category. And so all the athletes are coming back into it, and they're actually able to train at this body weight for a considerable amount of time. So when people have been saying, where are all the 190 snatches from the non-supers, they've just not been there, but they're back. They're gonna be back. And the number of athletes who are gonna do over 230 as well, it's very exciting here. I mean, the most exciting, I'm sure you've all seen it by now. This is at the time of recording. These big lifts are coming out thick and fast at the moment, so there might have been some changes. But we just saw Akbar Jurayev snatch 204 kilos. Now the new world standard is 195 kilos. We've seen him get into the low 190s in his best shape. 204 though is like, on camera, you've not seen a non-super hit that weight in 15 to 20 years probably. It's just remarkable. I mean, when we all saw it at Weightlifting House, we were upstairs and we just went crazy. It was just an insane lift. We've also seen his teammate, Ruslan Nuradinov. He hit 188 in the snatch. They've both hit 230 in the clean and jerk, as has Kolbi Ferguson. Akbar hit 235. So there are going to be so many world records in this category. It's just, it's finally back. Oh, also don't forget the fact that Akbar jerked 252 out the rack, so that's huge. Predictions, I would probably have to go with Akbar now for taking gold. He just looks too good. My sort of sensible side says it will be Ruslan Nuradinov with the silver, just because he seems consistent and we know he's got that top end clean and jerk. And then purely because of what he's done in the past, he's a multiple time Olympic medalist and a world record holder, and he says he's in great shape. It should be Simon Martirosyan from Armenia in bronze. But with Garrick and Kolbi and other guys like that, it's tough. But that's what I would do. I'd say Uzbek, Armenia, 1, 2, 3. Final questions. Obviously, there are 11 other sessions. Who else are you most excited to see? Yeah, I mean, there are so many other top lifters here. On the women's side, Ri Song-gum, #1 weightlifter in the world by Sinclair on the women's side. Mahela Kambe, the return of Kwo Seung-chun, 2-time Olympic medalist and Olympic champ Mo Charon, Ri-suk, Iglo, I mentioned earlier, against Mattie Rogers and Sara Ahmed. Salford, she's basically the face of this competition in many ways because it's in her home country. Then on the men's side, Hampton Morris, Team USA, and the return of Francisco Mosquera. Ri Wonju, Jason Lopez versus Kademar versus Roquan Riol versus Marin Robu. That 88 kilo class will be amazing. And Panyan Hua, Gore versus Lalian in the supers. Yeah, a lot of big names. How can we watch this competition? So as always, it's going to be available at weightliftinghouse.tv. You can head to the link down below and subscribe or get the pay-per-view to watch the whole competition. I'll be doing the commentary. You can then basically download the Weightlifting House TV app from any of the app stores or on your smart TV, and you can watch it live and or on demand. That's every single session. Commentary on all A sessions, me and my co-commentator, but we're going to be broadcasting every session B, C, and D as well. Oh yeah, it's worth mentioning, you can either pay for the one-off sort of pay-per-view pass or you can subscribe. Subscription is $8.49 a month, but it's billed quarterly. And this competition is available in the USA, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Netherlands, Germany, Austria, Belgium, France, Ireland, Denmark, and Sweden. Okay, final thing, you have 10 seconds to explain to people why this World Championships will be exciting. We have new weight categories, we have a new empty slate of world records. Athletes have been moved into new categories that they're not used to. There are new battles forming. There are a return of old champions, new champions. It's just a new era for weightlifting. It's going to be unbelievable. That's probably more than 10 seconds, but that's it. We'll see you there.